Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm so excited to bring you this new series. This is the A to Z challenge. In this series, it's going to be about 10 videos. We're going to be trying to go undefeated on a fresh account to Diamond, winning once on every character, from Ada to Zariel, A to Z, it makes sense. Those of you who don't know, it takes about 50 games to get to Diamond if you win all of them. 11 videos, 5 matches per video. Anyways, let's get into it. Try and make this as informative as possible. Try and talk about little tips and tricks on Legends as we go along. Let's go. Alright, first match. We got Ada. Blaster, Spear. She's a bit of a more difficult legend to play, I'd say. Most characters, when they have low defense, they are a lot harder to pilot if you're new to the game. Let's take this slow. I don't want to just beat up these guys too much. Oh wow, it's been a long time since I've done like an unranked kind of thing. So, or like a smurfing challenge. So anyways, Spear. Two big things on Spear. D-Light Sair and Sidelight D-Light Sair. This is, if you learned this combo, Sidelight D-Light Sair, I talked about this in the last challenge I did. I played Nash a lot. Sidelight D-Light Sair. Practice it in training mode for 30 minutes. You're going up 500 elo. It's very basic. And then if you catch their dodge, you can do a D-Light D-Light Sair. You don't need good movement or anything. Just Sidelight, D-Light, Sair. Just keep going for it. Don't get scared if you miss. Just reset. Go for the Sidelight. Alright, let's get some blasters. Another general tip that I'll just get out of the way early here. Don't fall into the pitfall of like trying to use SIGs too much. Just keep into the basics and using light attacks. That's my like #1 new player pitfall, I think. Is like you get scared or you start losing and you try and overcompensate for your loss and like try and regain the lead really quick. Just chill out, Alright, we got Arcadia next. Arcadia is another one of these spear legends, so we'll focus more on the greatsword. I think greatsword is a really rough weapon to pick up if you are like just learning the game. There's a lot of things that you need to know like mechanically with the game to make it work. For example, dashing and like your general movement is really important when you're playing greatsword, because a lot of like the okay, he's good. A lot of the like fundamental gameplay of greatsword, you have to use dash a lot. So if you're not too comfortable with dashing and like moving around in general yet, I would stay away from greatsword. Although it's very rewarding to learn. Anyways, greatsword, it's a 3-piece weapon. So like you have a starter and then a bridge and then a finisher. So that was starter, bridge, finisher. Even when you miss, you'll go into the next one. You see starter, bridge, finisher there. And then they change based on which moves you started out with. So like, if I do D-Light, N-Light, oops, I did that slow. If I do D-Light, N-Light, it's a little bit different than N-Light, N-Light, and Sidelight, N-Light. Generally, this weapon is not great in the air. You want to stay on the ground. And that's like that's a thing that you can apply to most weapons, but even more on greatsword, you want to stay on the ground as much as possible, because all of the combo game is on the ground. It's really difficult for you to string together we'll go again with Arcadia because he jumped off. And any time someone jumps off, we'll just keep going. We'll go like a second match on that character. Yeah, staying on the ground, it's always good, but greatsword has a really hard time like converting aerial hits into ground combos. For example, like if you hit a sword Sair or like maybe a blaster Sair when you're falling, you can convert that into like a D-Light, for example, on sword. Like you do a sword Sair into D-Light as you land. But on greatsword, the moves are very difficult, other than Dare, of course. Dare, if you hit it on the ground, let's try and hit him here. Oops, that one dropped. Well, I suck. But if you hit Dare into the ground, you can, it counts as like a starter move, basically. So you can go into a bridge move. Yeah, let's start talking about these SIGs. So Arcadia, she's the newest character, which generally newer characters have really, really absurd SIGs. This character actually is especially absurd because this is the first time they've added a trap SIG to the game, or like a real trap SIG. So if you hit this D-SIG, you can just combo it into Sair or recovery. It's very, very good. You can use it on the ledge, like here. Now, if you hit him off stage, let's hit this guy off stage. Oh, he actually just died. Interesting. Yeah, you can pop the D-SIG down. You're pretty safe to do whatever you want. Wait for them to come back. Gotta remember to turn off gadgets. Yeah, I mean, Arcadia is an excellent, excellent legend to pick up. If you're willing to take the greatsword tax and put like 10, 20 hours into it, lab it out, understand like what you gotta do with all the dashing and the movement in between the hits, it's a very, very rewarding weapon to learn. And we're on to Artemis now. Artemis is another one of these characters where, kind of like Arcadia, her SIGs are really good. So a common thing for new players is they'll pick a legend, and then if the legend happens to have really good SIGs like Artemis, you know, like Taros, like Mordex, you'll see people just spam them, right? Like this SIG, I'm sure if you have played the game at all, you know how absurd this SIG is. It's really hard to punish. Massive force, really, really forgiving hitbox. You see, like, this guy's really struggling to hit me. That's something that can work at like these like silver, gold, plat, these kinds of elo ranges, the lower elo ranges, and even at the higher elo ranges, it can work. You know, I'm literally just spamming this one move, right? But you know, I try to urge people not to just like spam those, because as soon as you fight someone that's like really competent and aware of what's going on, they're just gonna destroy you for that. So I'd be careful with your overusage of SIGs. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier in this video. Like, characters have very good SIGs. Artemis has amazing SIGs, right? Like sidelight and SIG. Wow, dude, people are really good at dodging nowadays down here. This is wild. Yeah, like these characters, they have insane SIGs, but don't just spam them. It's not gonna work out for you in the long term. But yeah, we only got one stock left on this guy. It's Lance. Lance has big hitboxes, so lots of naring is what I would suggest if you're new, because the hitbox is so big. And then, you know, everyone who's played the game, they know like these two moves, Sair and Dare, they're very annoying to fight. So one of the most important things in fighting games in general, we'll do one more on the Artemis. One of the most important things in fighting games is to understand like how to get into your opponent's head. Sometimes the unoptimal option, if it's more annoying to fight, is better. Like, for example, if I have the opportunity to hit somebody for like 5 seconds in a row, and it's a 5-second combo, or I could do a 1-second combo that does like 5 extra damage, I'm always going for the 5-second long combo, because like that, the entirety of the 5 seconds, they're going to be thinking about like their life and how they got to that point. Why are they getting comboed for 5 seconds in a row? That kind of thing. It's really important to like tilt your opponent, which is directly like contradicting what I was saying earlier about SIGs. But literally, I'm telling you guys, if you only use SIGs, people will figure it out. If you use one move over and over, it's not gonna work. If you weave in like maybe 5 Artemis side SIGs a stock, you're chilling. But once you pass like the 7 range, it's not great. And the reason I'm not talking about Scythe too much right now is there's a stretch later in this challenge where it's like Mordex, Mirage, Nyx, like all back to back to back. So we'll talk a lot about Scythe fundamentals and what you can do with Scythe when we get there. But we can touch on it briefly here. Scythe has active input, so you can control where you send your opponent on 4 of its moves: sidelight, D-light, nair, and dare. So you have a lot of freedom. Maintaining stage control isn't as important because you can give it up and then like instantly take it back. For example, like, I'm over here, right? I'm over on the right side. Let's let him get back to the middle. Over on the right side, and then I hit him to the left and I send him to the right. That's a unique property of Scythe. That's very, very useful. But alright, we got Asuri next. This is gonna be the first sword and the first guitar legend that we got here. The biggest tip I have, if you are a new player watching this, is to try sword or spear. Sword or spear are the two most basic weapons in the game. All the hitboxes are very, very easy to understand. Every move, it makes sense, right? Like, you nair, it swings up. You dare, it swings down. You stare, it swings to the side. Not many diagonals. The recovery it's very powerful for not only recovering, but also as an attack. And they both have very, very basic combos, right? You have D-Light, it's your combo starter. D-Light combos into Sair, it combos into recovery, nair, dare, even like gravity cancel options, right? You have a lot of freedom when you're playing sword, and it's very basic to understand. It's my #1 tip if you're a new player, is to pick up sword or spear. Probably Hattori is your best option, and she's fast, so that's like a double bonus. But anyways, Asuri Sigs are some of the most satisfying Sigs in the entire game to hit. You got N-Light into N-Sig. This is the bread and butter for everyone who ever plays this character. And just getting these dunks off stage is like so satisfying, right? N-Light N-Sig. This guy is dodging it. Yeah, even the other Sigs are very satisfying. And as you get like higher level and you want to like incorporate Sigs into your game, like out of light attacks, Asuri is great at that. You got like, for example, you can do, let's wait for this guy, side light D-Sig. Okay, this guy is just a god. But yeah, like side light D-Sig is great. Even dare D-Sig. D-Sig is just a great option for guitars, like a stacked option that can kill. It's perfect. Alright. We are going quickly along. Oh, I forgot you could rematch. Let's just rematch. Anytime I get a rematch offer, I'll go for it. Asuri, also, a great thing about her is her stats are really balanced. If you go for the dex stance, like the minus dex stance, you'll be 5'6", 5'6", which is as balanced as you can be in this game. So, great beginner character. Guitars are also a pretty solid weapon to learn. It's a bit more input intensive is how I would describe it. Like, you got to do a lot more inputs, right? So, you got to be a little quicker with your keyboard. Or your controller, I guess. Oops, I did that the wrong way. This guy's kind of cooking me up this match. He's got the download on me. Yeah, I mean, guitars they're pretty basic. There's no, well, I shouldn't use that term. They're pretty straightforward to understand, right? This guy is 100% going to take a stock off me. Yeah, like everything strings into itself, right? So you got side light, end light, recovery. He dodged the recovery. Got, you know, side light, end light, D light, or you can do like side light, D light. See, now this guy is exactly what I was talking about earlier in the match, or earlier in this video. He's just like, he's fishing too hard. This is like a common pitfall. Even at the highest level, you can tell when people are fishing a little too hard, when they're a little bit too desperate for the kill, you know. We're just gonna ignore that happened. Yeah, you really gotta chill. Just stick to your fundamentals. And this guy has sword, which is like the perfect weapon to secure the kills, because you got D-Light Sair, you got D-Light Recovery, you got Raw Recovery, you got so many options on sword. All right, now we got our last one. We got Azoth for this video. Yeah, really try to be mindful of what your opponent is aware of what you're doing. Don't try and fish too hard for like that guy, like just de-sigging and ground pounding. That is very, very predictable. Try and hit him with some unexpected options. Oh, and this is perfect. We got first axe and first bow as well. So axe, big weapon, big swinging weapon, lots of circles, lots of large hitboxes. This is another weapon that's great for new players. You know, N-Light, very, very big, wide, long hitbox. You can back up, you can do your N-Lights. It's perfect. And then you got one very basic combo that always works. Side light, jump nair. You got a lot of leniency, you can miss it. Or you can be a little slow and still hit it true. And you're chilling. All the kill options are also very large and very, you know, efficient at killing. You got Axe Sair, you got Axe Recovery. Everything is a circle, right? So like, if you're kind of a noob, you can just throw out this ground pound, you can throw out your recovery. And it's a circle, so you're chilling. This is... And Azoth is like... Azoth is double. Because his Sigs are noob killers for sure, right? Like, you got D-Sig here. D-Sig is very fast. Even the N-Sig is extremely fast as well. Dude, everyone has gotten so much better. Like, this is only in silver, and this guy he's dodging well. His movement is... Like, you can tell he's practiced his movement. It's like who was doing that? The GC D-Sig. Oh, I'm dead. Respect, man. These guys are no joke. Alright, let's talk about bow a little bit. We got Axe here, but we can wait for our bow. Bow, the main gameplay is just use your D-Light into N-Light, right? Side light, D-Light, N-Light. That's your bread and butter on bow. Azoth is Azoth's bow sigs are very good as well. I hope this guy rematches. Let's talk a little bit more about Azoth. Thumbs down. Alright, normally I would leave if I get thumbs down, but all good. Yeah, Azoth's bow sigs, very powerful. I'll show off a few reads that you can use if you're playing him. Oh, also another thing about his axe, N-Light into D-Sig, great option at low health when they're not very damaged. Alright, so mostly off side light, you got side light, side sig. This is a great read if they dodge in. Like, you can imagine if he's dodging in right now, how he would be in some danger. In general, side sig is a great option on the ledge like that. Perfect for guarding it. Another read. If you get D-Light, you can N-Sig. It's perfect because there's a lot of different things that that read will cover. So if he spot dodges, that'll catch. If you charge it a little. If he dodges in, it'll catch because of the second hit. And then if he dodges like pretty much any other way other than down, it's gonna be really hard for him to punish it. All right, another great option, D-Sig. It's a great bait tool because it looks like you're doing an attack and that he's safe to like come hit you, but you're actually backstepping and charging. And then in the same way, if you hit like a side light really close, let's try and hit a side light really close. If you hit a side light really close, you can D-Sig, let a D-Sig rip. Hard dodge and read, as you can see. This is like perfect bow tech. Against people who aren't great with their movement, you can just walk around. Like, that guy's tilted. That's exactly what I'm saying. But yeah. Like, you can walk around and just N-Light and catch people's landings. Anyways. It's a great start to this series. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys are looking forward to the rest. And peace out.